Hey everybody, it's your girl Team Marche, and we are here to talk about the Yahoo News article on Martell Holt. So I did post on my community wall shortly after my last video went up about Ariane Curry speaking to a blogger, Straight No Chaser. So y'all, before I forget, when you're commenting in the comments, sometimes your comments is there and then you'll look back and it's gone. It's because YouTube is putting it in a box for me to approve it. So just be careful not to use too many emojis. Don't use the stickers that YouTube provide. From my understanding from Voodoo Doll, a mutual of mine, who I need to give a shout out to because Voodoo Doll helped me revitalize my channel over here, y'all. There are so many people on this platform that don't want to give other YouTubers a bone. They don't want to give them a hand up. And she actually took the time out to respond to my email. Give me valuable information on how I can grow my channel. So I appreciate that. Also, I just have to tell you this as well. You know, I understand that we get excited about other people's channels. I would appreciate it personally. Not that I'm a hater, but I would appreciate it personally if you do not tag people's channels in my chat. Please do not do that. Something that you would want me to see, I usually try to always tag my email address so you can send me an email. And it's marchetink@gmail.com. Go ahead and send the information there. Do not send it in my chat, okay? I have some other things to talk to y'all about, but I don't want to make this video long, so let's get to it, okay? Imagine going on a press tour with Tasha K, trying to smear your ex-wife's name by providing information such as financial statements, old videos, and what else did he provide, y'all? Text messages, essentially doxing your ex-wife, providing police reports, text messages, pictures, anything he could find to smear Mel as the AB, because we can't use the actual word. Only for a blogger to come out and dispel those rumors of Mel by providing audio recording of your side chick, whom you were cheating on your ex-wife with, to confirm that you were an AB towards her. Imagine failing at exposing somebody. I didn't even know that was possible. Okay, so there's an article. It says, there's nothing Martell Holt can do to make us believe Melody is the villain on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And this was posted January 30th, 2024 by Brenda Alexander. And baby, she started this article off with, now that season 6 of Love and Marriage Huntsville is finally over, it's time to address the revolving storyline of Martell Holt and his resoluteness to vilify his ex-wife, Melody Holt. His recent sit-down with Tasha K was a fumble at trying to do just that by praising his long-term side chick and downplaying his obsession with Melody and his desire for her attention. The receipts he produced of Melody in a justifiable rage, putting gasoline on his furniture while he omitted what he did to drive her to set it off. Didn't we talk about this? Didn't I say that? Why don't we see the beginning of the video where I feel like he was antagonizing her and then quickly hit record? Remember I said it seems like she's trying to get him away from her with that back because she really wasn't swinging like she, could have. She could have knocked your head off, but she didn't. But anyways, it says, it's text. He continues and says, it's textbook manipulation. Real quick before we continue, replay gang and everybody that's in the chat currently. Do y'all believe this is what Dawn Michelle meant when she told Martell Holt he's going to regret ever doing that Tasha K interview? It's always been fascinating to me is how Martell will try to attack Melody publicly, and it always return to him quickly. Return back to sender. It always comes boomeranging back either to him or his side piece. I'm hearing that there was supposed to be a part 3, and as y'all see, there's no noise about it. And they're saying it's because Carlos King may have bought that from Tasha K. And Tasha K has confirmed that she do not pay anybody to sit down and talk to her. Let's try to give the person a heads up. If the interview is about them, the person that she's getting ready to talk to, if the interview is about, I don't know, Kevin Hart, then she tries to reach out to him and let them know, hey, do you want to respond? Or I just want to give you a heads up. Hey, this person is coming in and they have a story to tell and it's about you. Remember how she tried to give Larry Reed a heads up and he was denying the allegations that the victim had said, which we will talk about at a later time. I'm working on that video. I have to edit some parts. It's taking me some time because I want to make sure I get my facts right. But I remember her calling him in specific and telling him, listen, I have somebody that has come forth with evidence and I want to give you a heads up. Do you want to respond? But getting back to Brenda Alexander, Brenda was not here to mess around with Martell, okay? It's before Martell goes on a social media tirade about how I must be a fan of Melody because it published this. But let me clarify. She made it be known that she is not a personal fan of Melody. She is a personal fan of any woman who walks away from an AB marriage relationship, friendship, or workplace and doesn't allow said AB to play in her face by trying to rewrite history, especially one long documented on a reality series. See, that's what I don't understand about Martell. Every time he comes out about some information about Mel and it's false, we are able to go back in time, season 1, 2, 3, and 4, and debunk everything that he's ever said. For him is Holt'S. I think it's very fitting. And I was able to detect during the Tasha K interview, he's able to manipulate people that's directly connected to him. And this is why he gets so upset with the bloggers, because we're able to detect his lies because we're not directly connected to him. Superpower is manipulating people by pulling on their heartstrings. Everything said in this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is my own personal opinion about the show that I've watched, information that I've seen on Instagram Live, and the Tasha K interview, and per this Yahoo News article. This is in no way to slander, embarrass, or harass anybody. Not only does Martell want Melody back, something stated in interviews throughout the years and admitted on the show, remember he said it on Steve Harvey, he's pissed that she left him for good. During the season 3 reunion, Martell said what everybody already knew, despite sharing his P word with another woman for 7 years of his 14-year marriage. He never thought he and Melody would end. One fans watched Melody go back and forth for 3 seasons before breaking free. This is why I asked, what do people want from Melody? When she leaves, it's a problem. When she stayed, it's a problem. You just want to have a problem. I remember people talking so bad about her for even considering reconciling in her own marriage. It says, we later learned that before the cameras began rolling for season 1, she left and went back once or twice, even going as far as moving out of their marital home with their 3 young children into her place.
Get you a job as a psychic, honey, because you read my mind better than me, because I ain't even know. So
Brenda Alexander over there at Yahoo News, you knocked this article out the park. Because Martell no longer holds Melody's mind, body, or spirit, he's hell-bent on making her life hell and gaslighting anyone crazy enough to fall into his baby gap-suited antics. Still cannot live with the fact that Melody is thriving, and most people with sense can see that she was the engine that kept their family, former businesses, and his public image intact. In the words of Voodoo Doll TV, I'ma stop you when you're lying. He has insisted that he tries to co-parent with Melody in peace. From Love and Marriage Huntsville proves otherwise. He's admitted to popping up on her on dates because he didn't feel she deserved to dine with another man at a restaurant they frequent in their 14-year marriage. Remember, we talked about this and provided clips. He's shown up without an invitation to her home. We talked about that. He gets into screaming matches with anyone who remains her friend and defends her against his smear campaign on the show. If Brenda Alexander could see this over there at Yahoo News, why couldn't Carlos King? Brenda could see this. Why couldn't Letitia and Kimmy? This pretty much confirms what any content creator has said about Love and Marriage Huntsville. It drives me crazy when some of the cast members, like Kimmy, Maurice, Letitia, and Marceau, to minimize us to bloggers when we're saying stuff that they don't like. My thing with that is, nobody told you to join the cast. This is the only show where there's cast members that are upset about people reporting on their show. But some of these cast members get so upset about bloggers or content creators critiquing them about their bad behavior on this show. And my thing about that is, I thought y'all were acting. I thought y'all were creating storylines. So why would you be upset about a character that you're playing on the show? Goes to show that y'all just lie about lying. Viewers is what make this show, but let's be clear. It wasn't until content creators started blogging about this show that it became what it is today. It's like a person becoming a veterinarian, but is afraid of animals. Or someone becoming a teacher, but don't like kids. Take the good with the bad. And you have to understand that this has always been a thing. Like, bloggers have always talked about reality TV shows. So what make you guys different? Get Brenda back on the line, y'all. He's shown up at birthday parties she planned for their daughters uninvited and acting a fool amid mixed company, knowing there's nothing in their custody arrangement that states either have to throw joint events, which is true. He even offered on her day for him to come and pick their daughter up after the birthday party, and that fool did not answer the phone. I can remember Melody. Melodies from heaven. That's what I think of when I hear her name. But anyway, she offered for him to come pick up their daughter after the birthday party, but he did not show. I saw pictures of him at Paris' birthday party because Ariane's baby father leaked the photo of him being there. I honestly feel like he did all that because he felt like Mel had a man there around his children. I don't know this to be true, but I remember him saying that his daughter is the one that invited him. Like, get real. Custody arrangement is 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, meaning each parent has the children for 2 whole weeks out of the month, because he said Melody was keeping him from his children. And she also confirmed that sometimes Martell would say to her that he wasn't ready for the children, or he wouldn't get his kids. But he made all this noise about her keeping him from the kids and not properly co-parenting with him. Martell has shown in the series that he'll do anything to disrupt Melody's time with their children while she plans scheduled activities around her allotted time with the kids. Martell cannot control her anymore. He uses the children as bait. Because she refuses to play along, he's learned to get the sexist and misogynistic Alabama court system on his side by forbidding Melody from posting the children or having them on the show, as it benefits the success she's individually setting up for her children and herself. When they were married, he was involved. The kids being on television and social media was not an issue. I wonder why. Not to mention, Miss Brenda also let his mistress use the kids as content on TikTok. Also had his friends post a picture of him with the Eminem kids and the side chick and his friend Destiny Payton. Insult to injury. He puts a battery in his long-term mistress turned another mother of his child to do his dirty work. The same mistress he called a peasant on national television twice, okay? The same mistress that when his marriage finally ended, he didn't wife her, or at minimum, publicly claim her. That's fired, okay? Instead, he pulled a reality TV crossover to make his ex-wife feel he upgraded with an OG Real Housewives of Atlanta. He laid out the Carfax on Martell Holt. This is even more damaging to his reputation, and I'll tell y'all why, in my opinion, towards the end of this video. But he tried to make Mel feel like he upgraded with an OG Real Housewives of Atlanta while said mistress and baby mama threw a tantrum on Instagram. I think it's so uncool. I think you look like a fool and all my friends be roasting you. Ha! Well, Brenda said it wasn't until his last ditch effort to salvage his already damaged reputation in his interview with Tasha K that he confirmed she was his other woman, but noted he's currently single. When asked why he fell in love with his mistress, Ariana Curry, he couldn't give a definite answer. My boy said she does homework very well. Last night I cried, tossed and turned, woke awake, tried out. So the same question was asked about the relationship with Melody. While he refused to dive into details to make the world believe he's not hung up on his ex, Martell says she's possessed all the qualities he prayed for in a wife. Right there, I knew he was trying to play Mel, because I felt like he was trying to say that he asked God for a better financial situation maybe, and Mel came along and therefore God answered his prayer. Right there is when he pretty much exposed himself. In my opinion, he exposed himself to be a moocher, to be somebody that prey on women, especially women that's doing really well, because we know that Martell has said several times that his next woman will be somebody that can protect him and financially provide. That's what he saw in Mel, unfortunately. And I'm so sorry, Mel, that you had to waste 14 years on this man only to find out he was using you. How sad. Considering the stark difference between his past and present life, I can assume that means a woman he could build with, who could look good on paper and in reality would have his back. Didn't we just say that? And this is my first time reading this article all the way through. That she did that until she could no longer tolerate his disrespect. When she left, his world crumbled. She did that until she could no longer tolerate his disrespect. When she left, his world crumbled. He admitted to being in financial distress after they dissolved their joint businesses. New entertainment ventures. Melody continued working in real estate via the property preservation business, while Martell continued to struggle to stay afloat due to needing a builder's license. So it turns out Melody was the beauty and brains behind the former Holt'S machine. But as a true Southern belle, she made sure to front like everything was a partnership. Martell tried his hardest to make Melody look dumb for confronting Ariana and asking why she stayed with him so long after discovering his affair. Girl Brenda said, I don't know many married women who hadn't done the same or worse, especially one with 4 minor children and million-dollar businesses, before bidding a final farewell to her cheating husband. Me neither. Melody did not want to leave her marriage. She had no choice. He wanted his Betty Crocker boss of a wife at home, while he's younger and desperate to prove to his wife that she had her man freak of every week, stroke his ego, and gave him an escape from the reality that he wasn't the man he cracked himself up to be. It wasn't until Melody was away from Martell and realized she could live her life better and more peacefully without him that she could stand firm in her decision. That, coupled with the fact that the world knew his mistress was probably pregnant, she was able to fly without Martell. We've seen on television right before our eyes, when it comes to Melody, Martell can be dangerous. Didn't we say that? I said that. I've been saying that for months now. About the revenge P that he conjured up with his said mistress, who admitted the details in a leaked audio with the popular YouTuber Nay. Saying Nay name, y'all, not her. Martell is dedicated to making the world believe Melody cheated in their marriage while they were together. He also alleged that his fifth child wasn't conceived while he and Melody were together. Instead, they were separated, but the math ain't mathin', baby. Brenda said, Melody and Martell's youngest child and his son with Ariane are a year apart. We watched the overlap in the 2-year relationship on the show and Melody catching him communicating with her secretly while they were trying to work on repairing their fractured marriage. That's why I don't understand why Ariane was talking about scoot over Melody. Because see, on the CDqeFMiPwciFtKA interview with Ariane, she stated that she was okay with him running back to his wife. She was okay with him being with his family. It wasn't until she was ready to walk away when Martell flipped out on her, began to give him an ultimatum. This is when she began attacking Mel. This is when Slurry started to make her presence known to Mel. Allegedly, it was also not the first pregnancy for Ariane and Martell. You know this because she told Straight No Chaser that she went through a couple of abortions, and that's why she decided to keep Knox. The thing I didn't talk about in my review of Straight No Chaser's last audio of Ariane is when Martell realized that Ariane was serious about keeping that baby. He had a mental breakdown. Ashley stopped talking to her for a couple of months. That's when the news started leaking that Martell was telling Mel that they could run off together and they can, rebuild their life somewhere else. And he could just pay child support and never be around that child. That's why I said in my last review that Martell probably wouldn't be as active with Knox had he stayed with Mel. Why would she want to be with you knowing that you're not going to take care of your child? When she has 4 by you, that don't even make sense. To let y'all know that this video is going to be extended because I want to go through everything that Brenda had to say. Leaked audio with Tasha K. Ariane admitted to terminating 2 pregnancies because of his marriage. So it was 2. It was more than 1 for sure. I told y'all, I have not read all of this article from Brenda from Yahoo News. Shout out to Yahoo News. In the fight of your marriage, you want to believe your spouse, but people were not giving Mel that slack or that grace or the courtesy. I think she held on to anything that Martell said around that time because she didn't want to believe that her marriage was ending. Oh, but when she snapped out of it, Melody may not be innocent overall in how she interacted with her co-stars in the early seasons of the OWN series. Her commitment to trying to expose the alleged infidelities in Marceau and Letitia Scott's marriage was controversial, mainly because it appeared she wanted to bring anyone down with her and Martell due to their marriage going down the drain. She also blamed Martell's friendship with the Scott brothers for him seemingly switching up in their marriage, as the Scott brothers were alleged to be known philanderers and preferred their women to be more traditional. Thankfully, she since evolved from the hurt people era. But Melody isn't responsible for the dissolution of her marriage. The only thing Melody is guilty of is not leaving Martell sooner. The bad part is that Martell has had ample opportunities to humble himself and present a different side of himself to the world. The marriage is over and Melody isn't coming back. It would be a more interesting and digestible show to watch him in therapy, juggling co-parenting and raising his children, studying for his builder's license he had never had, and working to reestablish the community's trust in him as a businessman. But he prefers to take this route. It hasn't been working for him, and he's sinking further into a hole. Word may be overused as we as a world become more cognizant of our mental health. If you Google the definition of narcissist, Martell Holt's picture might show up. I had to put Brenda's picture in this video because I need y'all to understand who's the mastermind behind this article on Yahoo News. Here is my final thoughts.
Why that type of promo? Why not something more positive that y'all got
These bloggers got to get something really good to talk about.
It's been 5 years now. Y'all still ain't seen me on that show. Like, it's
in my opinion, I think Martell knew that there was a possibility he would receive backlash. His only goal in an interview with Tasha K was to shame Mel, Betty was not banking on a journalist/editor from Yahoo News to write a column on him. What does this mean for his future business ventures? One thing, for the fans to speak out and create petition. Another thing, for content creators to talk about their feelings about what they're seeing on their screen when it comes to Martell Holt. I feel it's a whole nother ball game when you get a journalist/editor to write a column on you because your behavior is that despicable. Goodness, Mel let the last name Holt go. I believe Martell was using that Holt name to his benefit. Now that this column has come out, it's going to be very difficult to spin the narrative. With a Yahoo editor/journalist writing a column on you, easily say bloggers and content creators are hating on you, right? Easy to say that we're obsessed and we just want you fired and we're just fans, right? But for business, for someone to write a column on you, I definitely think your business is going to tank. And tells me this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot of people coming out the woodworks denouncing Martell. They don't want the bad business. You're just bad for business, sir. I watched my father not come back from a divorce. So I know what I be looking at when I'm seeing Martell. Some people can bounce back and put the pieces back together and really, recreate their life. And some people just don't have the ability or the wherewithal to do it. Interesting. Once Ariane is able to make her own money, what's going to come about their relationship? Will she start blasting everything that she know? My question to you guys, are we giving season 7 a second chance, seeing that Martell may be fired? We don't know for sure, but that's what I heard. Somebody messaged me and told me that Martell may be fired. Petitions worked, if that's a fact. And also, I want to know what y'all think about the article that Brenda Alexander did on Martell Holt. Wait to hear back from y'all. I read it so you didn't have to, but I would love to hear your feedback on this article. You hit the like button, notification bell, share the content, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the comments.
Warning, warning, warning.